Oh, hey, what's up, everybody? Um, I don't know if my audio is working. Oh, crap. What's up? See you scrapping? Oh, man. My microphone. I think my mic is coming through on my. Um, oh, good. The two people I wanted are in here already. What's up? See you scrapping? John Daly. Hello. Oh, man. My mic is. Oh, excuse me. Hold on one second. I got to get my mic sorted out. Okay, there we go. Check. Can you hear me? I wasn't my microphone cord wasn't plugged in. Hey, what's up, Mom? Jim East Tennessee, what's up, dude? What's up, Adam W? RT Jones, Mickey Mouse, Phil, scrapping on the fly. What's happening, man? Okay, once I got to close this door behind me. I don't want someone walking up on me while I'm doing this. We'll keep some airflow. I got to grab my Yeti. I kind of started the stream too soon. Hold on. I can't find my. Okay. I guess I'll dehydrate. I don't know. I literally just filled up my Yeti with water, and I can't find it. Okay. So, what's up, Kenneth? Um, Osborne out. What's up, man? Okay, so today, two things. One, I had some mail come in. Now, I don't go to my mailbox all the time. Actually, my editor lives out by my mailbox. So whenever, once a week or whatever, if I have mail, if I remember to tell them that I have mail, they'll bring it to me. And let's see. So I wind up getting some fan mail. I'm pretty sure it was from John Daly and Adam W. I just want to show it here. So this this is Anchor Lube, and I'm pretty sure John sent this to me. Says all-purpose metalworking compound, prolongs tool life, water-based, non-hazardous, smokeless, easy to clean up, fast, smooth cut, even with exotic metals. It's made in the USA. I like that. Let's see. Oh. Okay. That camera doesn't do too well about close-ups. Stainless steel. I'm not sure what this is really. Is this like a cut-in oil? Should we taste it? No. What the heck am I hearing? Might be that bird. I've been having a bird come in my shop for the past couple days. Oh, this product is not hazardous in accordance with OSHA. Oh, OSHA says it's not hazardous. If I get hungry, I can just eat it. Huh. Interesting. So you saw it used on saw blades. Okay. What is happening here? My phone is blowing up. Get my water. Did I moon the camera? Sorry. Anyway, thank you, John. I'm going to look into other applications, what this stuff is actually, what it, oh, snap. Man, I just found a whole, what the heck is going on here? I just found a bunch of I had no idea that was down there. Some gold fingers. Oh, man. The stuff I find in my shop. It's like a bag of goodies, man. What is happening here? Look at that. Some more gold in there. Are these things worth anything? Someone took the time to pull it off. I didn't do that. I don't even know where that came from. Huh. Okay, next, I got a whole box from Adam W. and a nice little note. So I appreciate the note, and me and my wife both cracked up when we read it. But he bought extra large gloves. I guess these are for me. Another whole pack of those. Another big pack of those. A whole bin. Look at this. Safety. We protect people. We got a whole bin of safety glasses. We'll be safe for the next year. Oh, I didn't even dig down this deep. You got me some sunglasses too. Dang. Oh, and these are cool. They got the little the string so you don't lose them. Because I will lose a pair of glasses. They'll be on my head and I'll lose them. I'll go find another pair. These will be on my head and then I'll wind up losing them both. I think these might be, he described, he bought them. He said Oliver in his tiny hands, he bought him some tiny gloves. Wow. That's a lot, dude. They're mediums. They'll have gloves for days, man. More sunglasses. And then nitrile sealed, extra large, powder-free nitrile single-use gloves. So I guess these are, yeah. These are the rubber gloves. Okay. I should definitely start using them when I'm working on greasy stuff. I actually have a filing cabinet. I'll put all this stuff in. Man, I appreciate that. John, I appreciate the anchor lube. Adam, I really appreciate the safety gear. You know how we're all about safety around here. I really do appreciate it, man. And I put all the stuff that everybody sent me, I use all the time. John sent me these. I'm literally using these things today. I use these almost daily. Matter of fact, today was the first time Naples Frank sent me these clamps. I bought a big one that was like $80. And then he sent me 2 small ones. I used these today. So thank you for that, man. And, you know, I really do appreciate people that send the stuff, people that donate. Just watching, you know, if you just watch the videos, man, I really do appreciate that. Who we got in here? What's up, Silverlicious? Hole saw and bandsaw blades toast 7 years with the lasted 7 years. Dag. The beard looks 100% better trimmed up. Motivates you to trim yours. What's up, E-Waste Mike? Been keeping you company for the last week or so while working in my shop. Thanks for the company. Yeah, no problem, man. We actually just finally caught up on all the backlogged videos. And now we're getting into stuff that I shot after I came back from what's the new machine sitting right behind me, man? I don't know if you could tell, but there's two tire machines behind me. And man, it took me almost 3 hours. How much stuff and crap I have to sort through and scrap just everywhere. So I had 2 tire machines. One someone gave me years ago. My old neighbor gave it to me as a working tire machine. It just needed hoses. Well, it turns out it literally needed every hose. Like, after I've probably been holding on to it for 5 years or something. Like, I had it in my last shop, the 2.5 or 3 years I was at my house, and then the 3 years I've been in here. And finally I go to like replace the line. And then I'm like, let me just open the cover. And I look inside. Every single line is just in a pile at the bottom. Let me show you. It was crazy. It just deteriorated so bad. This is what I found in the bottom of the machine. just it just fell apart. Literally every single hose. So that's not made to last. We got a leak. So anyway, I had two machines. One was given to me. One I paid $200 for. The one right behind me, right here, this Coates, which actually was a better machine. Oh, Mickey Mouse! Thanks for the $20. Is that a euro or a pound? Trim beard equals shop safety. Oh man. Let's see the chopper. Okay. Well, actually, that's another. I literally just got another granulator, so we're going to be working on that soon. Yeah, today at Project Shop we have an absolute mess. Always, dude. Up in Canada, we deal with so much metal thieves. I mean, they will stop at nothing. It's $5 a pound up here for copper right now. Man, someone was like copper. I just got a quote today, 365 or 370 for copper. And someone was telling me in like some weird state like Mississippi, it was like 4-6. Like I didn't understand how he was getting that much money. It was so close to Comex. Industrial hoses are a quick replace and not extremely expensive. Yeah, I just went and bought 3 different size hoses. I just bought like 10 feet of one, 20 feet of the other. And the main hose, I think I bought like 30 feet. It wasn't that much money. So for, I don't know, 50 bucks, I'm going to get the whole machine rehosed. And it's that plug-in stuff, man. It's not even like a hose barb. It's like a little thing you push down and you just push the hose into it. It's plastic. What it is. I'm surprised I don't get effed with theft at your shop, man. People are so messed up these days. Well, first of all, there's nothing. I mean, I don't leave anything outside worth anything. And another thing, like if you see a video with a bunch of copper, by the time that video drops, that copper's long gone. It ain't sitting around in here. I don't hold on to that stuff. That shit's gone the next day. And then that video won't drop for a week or so. So you never know what's going on over here. And the only thing sitting outside is I might have a trailer with some tin shred. If someone wants to come steal some tin shred and risk their life, that's pretty dumb. You and Dusty make a good team. Yeah. Unfortunately, when he was here, I had a lot going on. And then when he got here, his truck was like running on 7 cylinders. He smoked a bearing on his trailer. He had a bad tire. So like every time I was over here, like me and Oliver were here working one day, and, you know, I thought he was going to, you know, we were all going to work together, but he wanted to catch up on some other things. We did a couple things. I took him out to the scrap yard once, and we went to, I think I took him to Miami once, to the steel yard. And then we went and did some pickups, and then we worked out here. He was here for a week, but like a lot of the time he was repairing his shit. He beat his stuff up, driving all the way down here. So he even had Steve out there helping him repair an axle. And, so anyway, What's up, Fart Stack Jack? Jody High Roller, what's up? What's up, Naples Frank? What's up, Mystery Gardener? Love your channel. Thanks. Anyway, so I had 2 tire machines, and I literally had one in the back of my other bay with a bunch of stuff in front of it. And I had this one in the back of this bay with a bunch of stuff in it. So it took me 3 hours just to get them together where I can evaluate them both, decide which one was going to be a tire machine, which one was going to be an AC compressor recycling. You see this AC compressor here? So I got this thing dialed up. I'll bring it over here a little bit more. I dialed it in a little bit. This one was missing a bunch of stuff. I got it. I think I paid $200 for it. It was missing the ram, the air cylinder, and all of the pedals on the front. Now, looking back, that's actually, I mean, it didn't, I fixed the issue. I got it working, but I am going to get the air cylinder working. So I need a foot pedal because the in and out, I'll show you here in a minute what I had to do to get it working. It works great. And I didn't have to modify the machine because of the way this machine is dialed in or originally made. It actually worked out better for me to use that one for the compressor cutter opposed to the other one. Now, ultimately, I would have liked to have this one for a tire machine because this was a way better setup. It was just a little beefier, more adjustments. It was just, you could tell it was a better model. Okay, the other one's just like a base model. It's going to do the job. The guy that gave it to me, he had a mechanic shop next to me. I used to change my truck tires on it. So, he would just wind up getting new Snap-on stuff. And then he gave me that tire machine and a wheel balancer. And at the time, it just needed a hose. But now it needs all the hoses. So after doing some evaluation, in the long run, like immediately getting them working, it was cheaper for me to keep a tire machine, the one in the back there. I don't even think you can see it. Hold on. Oh, man. Hey. Steve forgot his cookies, man. Shit. I guess his loss is my gain. Don't tell my wife. Oh, she's probably watching. Anyway. No, I'm not going to eat all Steve's cookies. Maybe one of them. So that one, which there was some aspects of that one that I wanted to do to this one. That one has electric rotation, right? This one has an air motor for the rotation. Now, being that this thing was missing all the pedals, I basically had to modify it. And I know it's hard to see, but I have my I'm gonna see if I can't get this camera a little closer. I have my plasma cutter up there. Okay. So I know it's going to be hard to see. Because of the way these are designed, these are adjustable. See that? So you go in and out. You could have it like do really, really tiny stuff or really, really big stuff, and it still goes in and out. So you have 3 adjustments there. I took the arm off of it because I wasn't going to use that. And I actually added a second ground or another ground so that when I'm running the plasma cutter, I can actually clamp right onto the thing if these don't dig into the, the paint. Plus, I'm going to try one more thing. I have one that I think I can use, but there's another way to get a ground that I'm going to use. Now, I was going to try to clamp the thing down here, but these things on the bottom, man, they got plastic parts, which is kind of crazy. But I did cut a couple compressors. It works absolutely amazing. There is going to be some more modifications coming. One, we're going to get rid of the air motor that spins it. Okay. It sucks up too much air. The compressor is going to be running more than it should have to. And there's no torque really. It just needs to spin. It's not actually doing anything but spinning, and that's a heavy compressor right there. That looks like a pretty big one. That ain't nothing. I'm not going to show you on a live stream. You have to wait for the actual video. Wait until you see the size of the AC compressor that I got. I've never even seen one that big. It's a monster. Hold on one second. What do we got here? Oh, someone just texted me about an 800-pound transformer. That'd be a nice little deal. I haven't messed with one particularly like that, but you have to check the taps coming out of the transformer. That'll tell you if it's aluminum or copper. People have been buying a lot of things from auctions, like some scrap. Anyway. So, being that this thing was missing all the valves, I had to figure out where to tap into the air motor, put my own valve on there, and then I had to make a thing. Now, this is just totally a prototype. This isn't even this piece right here. This is just to hold the thing, but after doing a couple of things, I realized a few things. One, that arm is extremely heavy, okay? And I want the arm to be able to kind of push into the thing, but not so much. Like if I put a spring on that arm to hold it into it, which I'm going to do, it would almost push the thing over. I'm going to make something that goes right here that's actually going to have a light spring and let the plasma cutter move independent from the arm. And also, the arm only has a certain amount of stroke right here, which will probably be okay for these ones here, and maybe some, obviously the smaller ones. That will probably be the limit of what I could do on this machine. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it up here in a second, and we'll see. But the big one that I got sitting over there, there's no way the arm's going to. I mean, the top of the thing is going to be, it's going to be up here somewhere. So what I got going on here right now is pretty awesome. Man, I really do got to find my water. And I bet you I set it down somewhere stupid as I was kind of rushed around. Just give me 1 second. I'll be right back. You can kind of look at that thing in the background. Okay, I found it. So to get this thing to operate in and out, because it didn't have a ram, and you know, at first I was like, oh, maybe an electric motor, but how, without like some type of brush system on a roller, how would you get power to the thing without it twisting up the wires? You'd have to get, I was actually thinking about getting the thing off of a generator. The brushes, the way they're designed, but I would need a ring. I need a whole thing. So just temporary, because I'm going back to the air, because this thing is set up for air. It has the air lines that go up through it. There's seals and everything. It's designed for air to spin. It's actually just going to work better. Because after doing a couple of them, I learned one thing real quick. You want to be hands-free. And I'm setting this thing up right now to be pretty much hands-free. Now, originally, I had to hold the trigger on the plasma cutter. Okay, that's stupid. You're not going to sit there and want to do that. You're so close to it. It's blasting stuff. You want to be able to set it, and then while it's doing its rotation, you want to like take apart the other one or drill a hole. I'm going to pre-drill mine. I'm either going to plasma cut or drill a hole in the bottom of the stators. I have a little cart over here with holes in the bottom and a bin underneath to collect the oil, because I got a couple different uses for the oil. Okay. We're gonna be utilizing all the stuff on a level that no one's doing. Okay. But ultimately you need to be hands-free. Okay. But right now, unfortunately, because I don't have the cylinder, and this machine, I can get all the parts for it. I looked it up. They're not cheap. But I think I can get the cylinder, the dimensions, and the stroke, and I can get an aftermarket one for much cheaper. A brand new cylinder for this thing is like $300, and I think I can get it a lot cheaper than that. And then the only thing I'm going to need is the foot pedal that actuates. And for those of you that don't know, on these tire machines, that round tube is actually a pressure vessel. That's where the pressure for if you ever see them blow air, the air that would shoot out of these little holes here, it actually comes out of that tube. That thing builds pressure. And I've actually incorporated that back into this because right now I'm running an air motor and the plasma cutter, which uses air. Okay. But what I've done is, because of the way this was designed, I just stuck a piece of all thread in there, double nutted it here, triple nutted it here with this nut had a washer. And then I actually, on the other side, you'll see in the video, I explain it much more. I put a spacer, and then I moved the threaded nut over here so that when it pushes and pulls, it's not shoving the all thread deep outside the other way. It's actually starting from like right here, and then it ends up at the end. But oh, I don't like when you bottom it out. But look how, it's hard to tell. Maybe I can get the camera closer. Let me just take the camera off the stand real quick. Okay. So, because of the way this is designed, let me see. Get some good light. That's not good light. Anyway, let me. Anyway, there's a button here. The way this is designed, it lets this move like that. Okay. So depending on the size of the tire you were doing, look how small of a tire. You could do like hand cart tires on this thing. Okay. Because I was able to do that, and I wouldn't have been able, that one there, I would have had to make, I've seen a guy on YouTube, he made some arms that went in. The problem with that is now you can't use it as a tire machine. If I could find all the controls for this, I saved all the parts, this could still be utilized as a tire machine. This piece here just bolts on and off. Okay. But anyway, because I was able to move these in, once I get a certain size AC compressor, let me show you. I'm going to put that one on there. I just open it up enough to actually just get the compressor in there. And then it'll self-center still. Probably just want to go there. Oh man, that's heavy. So I wouldn't even have to open it that far. That thing's leaking oil like crazy. Now, that thing is locked in there pretty good. And I have this here just in case. This has a really heavy spring and some really gnarly teeth on it, okay? So if just clamping it doesn't get a good ground, I could just stick this here, wiggle it a little bit, let it dig in through the paint, and then we got an extra ground. Now, you have to wait until the build series. I shot the second half earlier of, doing this. I have another something that's going to be, if it works, it's going to be way easier. And it's actually a really cool idea to get a ground. I'm actually really excited about it. But now I had to hot wire the air motor. It didn't have any foot pedals. So what I did up here, let me show you this. So the way this was designed, there was like air coming in the bottom. So I took the plug out of the bottom, or the thing that was in there. I don't know where it is. It was like a big, it was like a big one of these. Okay. So I took that out, and I put a T on it, and I actually have a valve down there. I can drain any fluid out of here. Now, originally, it had these on here. I think a dryer and a filter or whatever that is. I need to get new ones of those because they were just leaking. So once I plug that in, this thing will pressurize. So I have like a little extra tank here, okay? And then I built this little platform for the thing. See, I'm running out of room here. So my plasma cutter's actually up on it, and this is the best art that was given to me to test on YouTube. And what I did is I made the platform a little bigger so that I can accommodate a bigger machine in the future. And I still have to actually plumb in the hose. I just need a little hose to go from here to there. But this is my valve in for the air motor. The air's coming out of the tube in the top. I have a a blow off just in case. I put a T here. Originally, it was just a blow off and a gauge. So I put a T, actually like a plus. So I gained 3. And I have a valve here, which is going to set the speed, the rotational speed. And then I have a valve here that I'm just going to go wide open. Oh, we still have air. Even though I have it unplugged, there's still air in here. This thing's moving. See that? So at least it's holding air, even though I have it unplugged. Let me plug it in real quick. And eventually, I need a variable speed 110 motor for the rotation. That's what that one over there came with. It's not variable speed, but it's reversible. It has a 110 motor for the rotation. It came like that. This one, unfortunately, came with air. But basically, I plug this in. That's filling up right now. And so we're full now. So what I would do is I would use this once it's set, it's going to be set. You know, you're just going to, however fast the machine will cut, whether it's that fast. I mean, we could go real slow, or we can. Ultimately, I'm hoping to cut them that fast. But even if we cut them like this, I'll just hit that valve up here, and that's it. That's my speed. And then the plasma cutter, I was using a trigger. I'm not going to be using a trigger. I actually have a foot pedal. I was going to put this foot pedal on there, but that's going to limit me to standing right here. Now, this is all about production and speed. And then once you get it dialed in and you know it's cutting good at a good pace where it's penetrating all the way, and you know you're not getting spots where it's not cutting. Because another thing, I'm gonna have to figure out exactly where to cut on these things, because if you cut too low or cut too high, you'll be into some stuff you shouldn't be into, and then maybe it won't cut all the way and make your life a little harder. Another thing is, I'm not going to have my thing permanently mounted right here. I'm going to have a quick release in case I got to take this out and do a couple little things. I'm not going to sit here and unbolt it and it'd be a whole production to get it out, you know? It's going to be pretty simple. And then there was one more thing I wanted to show you. Oh, the up and down. That's something I'm going to work on. And being that I want to make whatever bolts onto the thing over here adjustable, because I think I'm going to need that cutter to come higher than this thing actually is going to let it go. So it's going to be hard to make this automated up and down, but I can bolt a track on here of some sort and have that to where I can hit a switch. Now, you see I put this here with these holes. I might even do two. I'm going to have this toggle switch here where I'm gonna tap into the wire, because this trigger, it's not a valve that lets the air out. It's all electric. Everything happens inside the plasma cutter. So I just need to tap into this little line right here. And I can either do the foot pedal if I want it to stand here. But what I want to do is put this switch here. I'll turn the plasma cutter on and pretty much at the same time hit the rotation. And then while it's doing its little cycle, I can be unscrewing the other one. Or I can be prepping the the ones that are coming up, drilling a hole, get them drained. We want to get the oil out. Hmm. All right, let's see what we got here. Do they make pipe cutters that big? No, but originally, before I settled on a tire machine, I I saw another machine that I'm actually still going to build it because I'm not just going to rely on this. If things go right, I'm going to have a source of compressors where it's going to be my new transformer. And then I'm going to have to sit here and I'm going to have to just dial it in to where every process is as fast as it can possibly be. But I'm not just going to rely on one thing, because if something happens, a plasma cutter goes down, air compressor goes down, I want another way. And there's another way to do these, almost like a pipe cutter. And I have the idea, I have a small pipe cutter that if I made it on a bigger scale and did just one little modification for it, not only will it work awesome, it'll look cool as crap. And it's super simple, very simple. They actually make the blades for it. They're like this big, but you need 4 of them. And you need the thing to go up and down depending on the compressor. And then eventually you're still going to need, it'll cut the top and bottom, but you're still going to need something to cut the side. And I've seen them all, man. Listen, when it comes to scrapping machines, I've seen them all, man. The past 15 years, I've been looking online at every single thing that they have. And there's some things that make a lot of sense to me. And then some things that I'm just like, why? Like, what are you doing? Let's see here. Big mistake getting a plasma cutter? I don't think so, dude. Because I've used, I've seen the machines that use basically a pipe cutter to open these. They're not as fast as a plasma cutter. You have to rotate it around a couple times, and that's the other machine I want to build. Nothing's going to cut that faster than a plasma cutter. Could you use the mineral oil, maybe cut it with ATF as fuel in the incinerator? I don't know if it's good enough to trust in trucks. I don't know, but we're going to find out. That's another thing. I'm trying to get something what is going on here? This guy, Jason, is really against a plasma cutter. But I plan on using the oil for multiple things. I've been using it for cutting oil for the past couple months. And it works great for cutting oil. We're going to find out if I mix it with some diesel fuel and gasoline, if we can get it to burn. If we can get it to burn in the truck, I'll burn it in my diesel. I'll burn it in the incinerator. I don't read the messages while I'm blabbing. Yeah, man, I can't talk and read at the same time. Let's see. I won't need a ground if I use a pipe cutter. Okay. So another reason for the plasma cutter is when I do the big motors, like the generators, I had a couple comments on my last. Oh, you're wasting your time cutting it. Just hit it with a hammer. It's not. They're not cast. It's rolled steel plate, basically. You're not. You could beat on it all day. You're not going to crack it. You know, fastest way is with a plasma cutter or a cutting torch. You know, you don't want to be sitting there beating on. You know, and I have something coming up for the cast motors and the aluminum housed motors. I have something for that. Am I going to ditch an air compressor to make room for it? My air compressors? No, I got three air compressors over there now, man. Those we're gonna be putting them to work, man. We might burn one of them things up eventually. We're gonna need them. Matter of fact, the other day I didn't have a splitter, so I had to run my small Ingersoll. My small Ingersoll Rand has a 5-horse 220 motor on it. Okay, this other one I believe is a 3, or it might be a 5-horse 220 motor. But man, I fired that Ingersoll Rand up for the first time. I mean, I started it when I got it, but I didn't really run it. That thing starts with some authority, man, and it cranks, dude. But it's not even. It's a 5-horse 2-cylinder compressor. My TS10 in Ingersoll Rand, which I just got, I bartered a guy my 3-phase 7.5 horse motor for a single phase 220 7.5 motor. So now I can put that thing back together and start utilizing that. That's a 4-cylinder air compressor with an intercooler, auto purge valve at the bottom. You can set it on a timer. That thing is made for industrial use. So if I'm running plasma cutter all day, you know, I might work that machine. I'll rotate between the 3 of them, you know, just so I ain't wearing them all, you know, running one of them to death. Maybe a spring tensioner. Yeah, so that's another reason for the spring tensioner, the oval ones. You know, I'm gonna want the thing to stay on it. It's gonna have to ride with it, you know. And I had a little just. This isn't. I just I zip tied a screw to the plasma. Now this plasma cutter, you know, it was sent to me for free. It didn't come with the cup that's supposed to be here. It just came like this, and you know, it works. But I put this all on as a standoff. But I'm gonna have. I don't know if I'm gonna make a wheel. I think the heat and the sparks will eventually mess up I was thinking of a bearing at first. I think I'm just gonna take a piece of metal and have it shaped almost like an axe head blade, just so that it rides on there, you know, and it's not a lot of pressure, so it can just kind of stop the thing. How much copper is inside the compressor? I don't know. This is the one I cut yesterday. One of them. It's got a decent chunk, and I don't even think it wasn't even that big. That's a bigger one. Oh, now my hands smell like that compressor oil. So we're going to find out, like, you know, the small ones, the big ones. Hopefully we don't run across too many aluminum ones. I know there's aluminum ones out there, but I think overall they're pretty much every one I've ever done, I think, was copper. And what I love about the AC compressors, being that them things have been bathed in oil their whole life, once you split them in half, they pull so easy. like they pull like butter, man. It's it's really it's really nice compared to some of the big giant generator stators that I do. And I don't know what people are talking about. I don't know if they're talking about smaller generator stators or electric motors, but I get a lot of comments on some of my videos where I'm doing those monsters, and they're like, oh, just put some oil, let it soak in oil, it comes right out, or just hammer it from the backside and it comes right out. I haven't had that luck, man. Some of the ones that I've been pulling have pulled so hard, I literally broke my puller. I'm maxing out the thing. You know, I had the table bowing up one day. I soaked the one in oil. It didn't do nothing. It didn't get past the slack. You know, and then I don't have time to sit here and be soaking things, you know. So I just need more brute force, bigger, better hydraulics. But I don't think that people are doing the same ones or as big of ones that I'm doing. It's a whole nother game when you're getting into like 1,000 pounds and up. That's a lot of glue, man. That's a lot of glue. And it's not just as easy as getting someone on the backside and that's another thing. If you had like someone kept saying, oh, put Steve on the backside with an air hammer, you know, that might work for some things, but if it doesn't move and you're beating on it with the air hammer, the copper's soft. It's going to just mushroom the end, and then you just made your problem worse. Guys buying stuff from an auction. All right. So fortunately, Steve left us some cookies, so we're going to partake. So I did go today, and I bought all the hoses I need for my tire machine. So going forward, I won't have to borrow the neighbor's machine. I'll be able to do my own tires because, geez, I think I counted it the other day. Between my car, my two trucks, my wife's truck, my trailers, which wait till you see what we got coming up trailer wise. Got some big things coming. I'm responsible for like 45 tires. That's a lot of tires, man. That's a lot of rubber. A lot of tires to change. And it's going to benefit me to have my own tire machine. So I think it was $50 for all the lines. We'll get that thing fixed up. And then, yeah, I can do tires. One more thing I can do myself. I love being self-sufficient. Where am I going to put it? Most likely, I'm going to put this thing outside, right outside the door. I don't want to smell that stuff in my shop all day long, you know, but I'm going to build a table around this to where, because these things are heavy, man. I ain't going to be picking these things up all day by myself or without assistance. So I'm going to have a way of getting them up onto this thing effortlessly and out of the boxes, because I bought a Gaylord box. It wasn't full, but it was almost full, just as a test, to test the machine get some numbers, see how viable this is going to be to do on a mass scale. Because I already have the, the splitting and the pulling part down, and then once I up the hydraulic pumps on that, man, I'm gonna blow through a couple Gaylords of these things a day. I'm gonna get this dialed in. I think I can easily cut a compressor a minute with just this ghetto setup right here. When I had dialed this in earlier, it cut fast. I moved it up. It cut the top fast, and then just one stripe down the side. And I just got to figure out where to precisely cut, man. That's the main thing. I bet you can sell the oil by the drum. My goal is I'm going to utilize that oil, man. Matter of fact, my incinerator, where's that? I'm thinking about if I can get that thing to run off of oil, which I can get from the neighbors. Inside there's a rotor with aluminum. I might be able to melt that aluminum right off of there. Now, I have been selling them down in Miami for 15 cents a pound as iron aluminum. So I want to weigh the cost of if I just sell that rotor as iron aluminum, or do I melt it out? Is it going to be worth it? And let's see. Damn, open one today, 1.5 grinder wheels. Yuck. Yeah, no, we're not going to be doing grinders, man. All that grinding. No. Oh, Merchant Metals. Damn, he got locked inside a football stadium. That's crazy. What's up, living off scraps? Ed Weber. Jason Marbet. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. You keep saying about the pipe cutter. Have you used the pipe cutter on one of these things and cut it open in a reasonable, quick time? Like, I've seen the machines online that cut them open with blades, like a pipe cutter, and it sits there and has to go around a couple times, man. Like the plasma cutter goes around one time and it's open. TMR won't even give me motor price anymore unless they see copper. Wow. I don't sell anything to TMR, but it's steel. That TMR is where I sell my steel locally, and I just sell it over there because, they got a magnet for my heavy steel. Me and Merchant Metals went over there, and you can actually probably catch the footage on his channel. We did like 5,500 pounds of prepared steel on my trailer. A lightsaber would be a great scrap tool. Greetings from Turkey. What's up, dude? Dag. My puller breaks because I am pulling against a keyhole shaped hole. I think it broke because I had a crappy weld on it, but it was just a prototype I threw together. But I was pulling on some serious copper one day when it broke. Have I located a place for a new shop? Unfortunately, not yet. Hopefully in the future here soon. Brute force is not the answer for some things. Those giant stators are a whole different beast. Yeah, man. It's just handling them and split in half. And if you're not splitting them in half, I mean, I've struggled after splitting them. Okay. And if you don't split them, other than literally burning the copper out of it, which I can't do, I've done it twice, but that's not what I'm setting up for. And that's not what I shouldn't have to go down that route. Every stator has a ring of keyhole shaped, and you're constantly pulling against them in the opposite direction. I don't know, man. Sometimes it's no problem. I just have slow hydraulics, man, and the ram that I pull with is not big enough. When I'm dialed on that aspect, man, you'll see something incredible. If I hit them from the side, hit them with what? If you hit them from the side, it breaks the glue. Well, I'm telling you, man, those big 1,000-pound, 2,000-pound, like that 3,000-pound stator I did, the 9,000-pound one I did, dude, you're not putting a dent on that thing. What are you hitting it with? You have to hit it with like a hammer on like a hammer from a machine or something. There's no way you're just going to sit there and hit it with a sledge. And first of all, I'm not into physically beating something with a hammer. I'm trying to get the machines to do it. Okay. I've seen the master at Recycling Electric Motors, and he didn't use one hammer, one drill, nothing. He basically just used his machine. He cut and split everything, pulled it right out effortlessly because he had the right hydraulics. East Coast looked like rain. It was coming down today, man. It was crazy out there. Copper Queen said no to the cookies. Ditch the maroon car. Yeah, I got Steve's coming by next week. Actually, me and Steve are going tomorrow to go pick up a big boy generator. Steve works for V8 engines. So he'll help me take it off site. And I'm hoping I gained a new customer. It's at their office. But he's going to come help me tomorrow, pick up a big generator, and he's going to keep the V8. And then next week, we're going to work on cleaning up the front of the shop. If I made a puller that was a ring. Okay, that's another thing, man. I don't think you guys understand how tough some of those things are. I had a lot of questions like, oh, why don't you put multiple pullers on there and pull it all out at once? There's no way. You're not pulling that without burning it, and I'm not burning these things, it's not necessary. You know, you got to break that glue loose a little bit at a time, man. You're not pulling the whole thing out at once. There's no way. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but show me a video where someone's doing 1,000-pound stator and they're pulling it out in one shot. I always said, put down the cookie. This is not a mukbang video. Seems like buying big motors from the scrapyard is very efficient. Yeah, that's when they have them. The big giant ones, they don't always come in, not as frequent as the smaller ones. Definitely not as frequent as these AC compressors. See, I live in South Florida. It's hot here all year round. AC is huge. So even if I don't get the individual AC contractor, which is, I'm going to go after them. My goal is to go right to the scrap yards. I just want to buy the whole Gaylord. That I want to buy all their compressors, you know? So, the compressors are going the way of the dodos. They're going to dry up just like copper transformers. How are they going to dry up down here in South Florida? There are literally millions of homes and businesses that have AC. I don't think you realize how big AC is in South Florida. If you've never been here, ask Dusty from Merchant Metals how hot it was. He was here and it was not even summertime. The AC is huge down here, nonstop. I've never, the one product I see more at the scrapyard is AC scrap, coils, compressors, motors. There's mountains of them. They literally have, I don't know, down in Miami, they might have 40, 50 boxes of Gaylords. Now, I bought this Gaylord from Miami, which I paid a premium for. That's not ultimately where I want to buy them. They have 2 yards, local yards, that buy from the general public. Miami, where I go, don't buy from the general public. They buy from themselves. They're 2 scrap yards, other scrap yards, and big industrial accounts. I'm literally like their smallest guy that goes there, you know? I'm rolling up my truck and trailer. They're offloading semi-trucks. They got containers coming in. They literally buy scrap from the islands, container loads, you know? You know, they're dealing on, 50 tons, or 50,000 pounds at a time. But I plan on, for me, this is going to be I'm still always going to look for transformers. They'll always be dear to my heart, but that's going to be my next big thing. Let's see, 2 cuts on some. Yeah. Who was burning used car oil? Oh, we was burning used car oil. Okay. Yeah, I burned my truck that sits out back here. I put 250,000 miles on that truck burning used oil. Used oil, thinned out with gasoline, transmission fluid, any oil I can get my hands on. Do I still talk to the fire department I got my coat and jaws from? No, I didn't get them from the fire department. I got my coat from where I got my steel plates from years ago. There's a video on my channel. We went up to River Ranch or something way up north and pulled these big steel plates out of this building, and they had it there. The other one, the guy that used to work for me, found it in the trash on the side of the road. I just washed it and used it as a welding jacket. And then my Jaws of Life I bought off of eBay. 3 different purchases. I bought my original one. Then I bought my spreader jaw. Then I bought the other one because it was such a good deal, $200 or $250, just because I had a broken tooth on the blade. TMR is taking over the whole state of Florida. Yeah, so is that SA Recycling, man. They're everywhere. Yeah, I'm not looking to recycle cars, man. I just want copper. To me, there's no easy copper in cars. I'm just looking for something I can buy in bulk and run through my machines. I avoid oily scrap. Yeah. When are the new hydraulics coming? Hopefully soon, man. I'm talking to. Actually, I have 2 pumps. I just got for pretty much free. I bought them as a steel price, but they're small. But I do think I can put one on the press, so I don't have to keep using my other pump back and forth. I can leave that over there and then put a different pump over here. But I'm working on a guy. He's got a nice setup, but it's hard to get a hold of the dude. People on Facebook Marketplace are whacked. I'll get rid of that car after I put the roof back on the forklift. Okay. So I just got something big the other day that's going to need a little. There's actually nothing wrong with it. It's ready to work, but I just need to do a little cleaning up on it. But before I get onto that project, I'm going to fix the forklift. I have I think I have a filter, some bushings for the mast, and I need to find out where it's leaking. I think the main hose coming somewhere is leaking hydraulic fluid. It's just slight drips. Looks like someone dropping M&Ms all out there when I'm running around. And it really only starts leaking when the thing warms up. Was I making money on the 1,000-pound stators? Yeah, dude. The big ones, the copper that's in the rotor basically pays for the whole thing. And you got to realize I'm buying them from Miami. And that's what I meant to say about these AC compressors. So I'm buying them from Miami. You have the guy producing them that's selling it to the scrap yard. So he's getting his price. Then the scrap yard selling it basically to Miami. And then Miami sells it to someone. They're not just going to give it to me for the price they sold it. That's not good business. So I had to pay basically almost what they were getting if they had sold it to the people that they were selling to. So I'm like 3 steps away or 2 steps away from the source. I need to either get to the source or the scrapyard, not an exporter. I just bought that to do some numbers and run them on the machine and work out the kinks on the machine. Got hired that cookie. So overall, the couple that I did on this thing, it definitely was a good idea to mount the plasma cutter and have it steady. It made a beautiful, matter of fact, let me show you the cut it made. It was beautiful. Oh, we're leaking oil. Look how flat that was. Perfect. Okay. Also, there's like an aluminum bushing down here in the bottom. I don't know if anybody gets that. I cut it with a plasma cutter to get it out. I don't know if that's something I would seek in the future. I had to unscrew it and cut it out and then beat it out. What I'm thinking of, I might just run the plasma cutter across it and throw it with the cast and call it that 3% iron. But it made an absolutely gorgeous cut. And the upstroke is something I'm going to have to work on. Oh man, I spilled oil over. I gotta take a rag here. Yeah, the oil management. I've been thinking about this for a while. The oil management is going to be something I have to really take into consideration, and I got a couple good ideas for collecting it because I got to get, you want your process to be streamlined. So you have, say, your Gaylord or your big box or however you get them. You got to get them to your processing station. Now, the first step I'm going to do is drain them. Drain them, possibly cut some of these little copper things off, whatever that's going to entail. I'm going to have the proper tools and whatever's going to be the quickest right there on hand. And it's going to be kind of like how my transformer press works. It moves in a good flow. You could have one guy doing each step and setting up for the next step and setting up, or you could have two guys, or it works best with three guys. My transformer station, one guy prepping, one guy cracking, one guy punching the cores out. And you want to talk about making some serious money. I still haven't found anything that buying wise that you put out and you triple your money like copper transformers. That'll be my favorite until all time is HID copper transformers that I can run through my press. What do we got here? Brian T, thanks for the $20, dude. Hello from Candace. Helping towards your hoses. Great content you put out. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. Definitely going to come in handy. Yeah, right now where I'm at with this is I need to come off of that T and just run a line to the I need an air line going to the thing, which I was doing right before I went live, but I ran out of fittings for the big hose, but I have a smaller diameter hose that I can use. I have the proper fittings for the smaller hose. I don't think the plasma cutter is going to need. It might be a restriction, but I doubt it. I think it'll flow enough. But yeah, pretty much this thing's almost ready for production. But thank you for the $20, man. Have I thought about looking into government liquidation wire? No, but that sounds like a good deal. Are all recycled metals melted down? Yeah, eventually. Usually there some are shredded up and then melted down. How much are the compressors by the Gaylord? So I paid $410. And I don't know. I forget what the weight was. It was like less than 1,400 pounds. I probably paid almost 30 cents a pound for it. So I don't know. What are you guys getting for AC compressors? Like at your yard, what would they pay for it? And do you break them down or you just sell them as is? I think they told me they would buy them from me at 25 cents a pound. I got the number today. Hold on. So I got some numbers today. Bright and shiny, 365. Number 2 copper, 345. Electric motors, 28 cents. And AC compressors, 25 cents. So they're buying them. Miami's buying them at 25 cents a pound. So they're probably getting 5 cents a pound. Maybe more. Maybe they gave me a deal. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I paid close to 30 cents a pound for them. Now I knew buying them, it wasn't going to be a huge money maker because of where I was buying them from. But if I can make some money on them and pay what they were getting, I'm hoping that I could just buy them all. Like I'll buy every box they get as fast as they can get it. Let's see. Jason Marbet, he's honed it and there's good money in it. Good money in the compressors? Jason Marbet. Oh, you're talking to him. Scrap yards won't sell to us. That sucks, man. That's why I left Florida in 1979. Dang. Magnetic coal and Google it. That sounds cool. Heat and bugs. Yeah, we got both of them here. I've been all the way to the Keys. That's hot down there, man. Let's see. That spreader jaw is awesome. Yeah, I love that thing, dude. Both the jaws and the spreader jaw and the cutter they definitely have their place scrapping, man. Now I see a lot of people out there buying the decommissioned jaws of life, on the aftermarket for processing scrap. Have I looked at the Hearst R430 Ram? No. Forklift roof coming soon. I wish I had a roof on it today, man. It was pouring out there. I know that someone hated the fact that it had a dumpster lid on it. I loved it, man. It was nice and shady and it fit. Like it looked like originally when I had bought the machine, it looked like it was for it. Let's see here. By percentage, the ridiculously huge motors less profitable than average size. Okay, when it comes to electric motors, I would almost agree with you on that. The problem with electric motors is most of the time the rotors don't have any copper in them. So you're just buying, you're banking off of the stator. And actually the big giant motors, they pay less for at the scrap yards, or at least Miami does, because they know that there's not much, the percentages in there. But generator stators are different. The generator stators, the stator itself has copper. Now, depending on what it was, if single phase, 3-phase, 220, depending on what it was, the stator on the outside is going to have either more or less. Sometimes there'll be big gaps in there where they didn't run coils through. Might only be a single phase, thing. But the big industrial ones that I've been getting, because of the rotor inside having copper in it, they are way worth it, man. I almost, on some of them, I get more copper out of the rotor than I do the stator. And it's huge profit. Steve loves junk food. Yeah, he does. By percentage, if you do the copper versus the steel, uh, soak up that oil with my cookies. um, if I built the machine perfect the way I imagine it with a plasma cutter, you're still not going to put a bridge motor on it. What's a bridge motor? Like a motor for opening a bridge? I mean, I'm not even really looking to do electric motors. Maybe the motors that come out of here and some AC stuff. Um, I'm looking for generators, man. Have I ever thought of getting in the process in vehicles? Not really. I don't like I don't like messing with cars in general. Like I'm a good mechanic. I like working on my own stuff, but um, sell the mineral oil. Who am I going to sell the mineral oil to? Copper is king. Yeah, I agree with you there. SA Recycling is out of California. They are in Tennessee too. Really strict on buying non-ferrous. Oh, I went. Them guys contacted me on YouTube, sent me an email, and sent me a price list that was literally like 30 cents more a pound than I was getting in Miami for copper. So I went over there and I sold them some copper. um, and then they started, they wanted my big, I was bringing in literally a gaylord of copper over there, 3,000, 4,000 pounds. And it was just a nightmare dealing with them guys, man. Like, so when I get paid in Miami, like most scrap yards, anything over $1,000, they're supposed to cut you a check, but I have them direct deposit it into my account to where the money is available immediately. I can leave the scrap yard, go to my bank and pull the money out and then go buy more stuff. Um, most places won't do that. You have to wait until it clears, and it's a whole thing. Um, and they couldn't do that. They wanted to cut me a check. Then they started dicking me around on extrusions and aluminum, and he was sending me a price every day. I guess he had me on a list of sending me these prices. And then when the guy started messing with me at the scale and I called him out on it, I got the guy on the phone and was like, yo, you guys are funny, man. You guys are playing around with your scales and this. Then he stopped sending me that daily list and the prices because they were paying me one thing, but they were sending me a price on something else. And it was just, you know, they get you in there to, they pay you good one time and then they just start the shenanigans. And you know what? The people I deal with in Miami, there's no shenanigans. I call, I get a price. That's what it is. And, it's when I go there, they don't even, like I took Dusty there and we offloaded some stuff. They didn't even look at my scrap. The guy loaded it on the thing and the dude running the scale was like, what is it? I told him what it was, and that was it. Didn't look at it, nothing, verify. You just tell them what it is, and we got a good relationship like that. And they're not scrutinizing screws and this and that, and it just. I would rather take my stuff there and deal with people I know and not have the aggravation, even if they were offering me a better price. But the better price came with BS. The grass is not always greener on the other side. You can make more money if you do it like the Pakistanis instead of selling your scrap, making it a finished product. Some of it, yeah. Um, um, So actually, I'm working on something like that. Where a product is something I've been really wanting to do for a while. You guys know I started melting that stuff down, but I got kind of discouraged because of that stupid thing they sent me. Just wouldn't melt copper, so I have to work on that. Damn, Dusty, you got in a fight with a forklift operator? Yeah, them guys, especially we're over there down here in Palm Beach, the guy had no business running a forklift. Half these people that are operating these machines got no business on them. I think that's where the stuff goes on the West Coast to Miami. West Coast, Florida is weird, man. They're like $1 a pound different. Um, is that machine named the Compressor King? No, uh, no, I haven't named it. Um, but maybe I will. And for those of you who don't know, like I don't ever say that I am me personally the Compressor King, um, or the Copper King. That machine right there, not just the wire stripper, but the whole table is what I call the Copper King because there's no other setup like it, you know? There's some imitations out there, but there's nothing like it. Scrap yards don't sell to people. They only pay 12 cents a pound for compressors up here in northern Michigan. Dag, that's what I need to be buying them at. 12 cents a pound. That sounds like a heck of a deal. Scrap yards used to use old car hoods over the forklifts as rain blockers. 20 cents a pound. Okay. Electronic scrapper, you process every sealed unit you get. That's cool. You ever come across the aluminum coils? Stator lathe from reverse engineered tire machine. That's something I thought about too, like using like a carbide bit to open them up, but you would have to, like, even though that thing gripped it, like I don't know if I mean the carbide might cut it. That might be a thing. Jason get YouTube Premium. P Diddy buys mineral oil when he runs out of baby oil. The electric motors that you've been getting are either for bridges or elevators. What else would you need a motor that big? The motors, they're not motors. The big ones that I get, they're not motors. They're generator stators. They're for generators. They're for giant diesel generators. The big giant one was a power station. 9,000 pound stator was from a power station. I got a monster generator sitting out front. I'm going to pick up one tomorrow. I don't look for electric motors. Cars are cheap scrap because of fluff. My point is, you're never going to put a 3,000 pound electric motor stator on that tire machine. No, the tire machine is not for electric motors. It's for AC compressors. That right there is like the average size. Actually, that one and smaller is the average size of an AC compressor. This machine is not. This has nothing to do with generator stators. There will never be a stator on here. There's no reason to put one on here. The stators go on this machine back here, which the second part of this is this machine. The whole reason I built this machine over here, the stator wreckers, because it'll do electric motors, generator stators, and AC compressors. Whatever, stator there is, it's going to split it and pull the copper. There's a process going on here. You look younger and thinner. Wedding pictures? Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I am. I'm on a diet. I think I did lose 5 pounds. The Hurst R430 works with the jaws of light system. I think it would be on your table to push the rotor from the stator and your motor like you were showing on that one black and white video. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, the Hurst thing, that's more of like, I know what you're talking about. That's for like spreading, pushing up on the body and stuff like that of a crushed car. Have I melted my copper into ingots? I've melted some ingots. We get cheated on over here on the West Coast. I'm a native tampon. See you later, Frank. What time is it? No aluminum coils. I know I'm behind on the things. Got any new pew-pews lately? No, not any new ones. But a range day is due. Actually, I need to find a good outdoor range because I've always wanted to see if I can't break a transformer with my AK or my AR. just to see if it would penetrate it or if I could get it to crack the welds. It'd be the most American way of cracking a transformer you've ever seen. What is who is Mel Fisher? I use the compressor oil in my furnace to melt aluminum and copper. Electronic scrapper. Man, you got any videos of that? What type of burner are you using? Who's on the 3-wheel that rolls over at the end of my videos? So that was a dude, Chris. He was my old landlord's grandson. I met him during COVID. And there was really nothing going on, so we hung out. We had a good time, but unfortunately, the dude had a substance problem, which doesn't jive with me. And, I couldn't have him around too much longer. It sucks. What has the Project Shop FL engine builder been up to? Who, Steve? He's out there accumulating more engines every day. I'm surprised the city doesn't hound you for parking my trailer so close to the street. Man, I park my trailer right out in the street over here. The thing is, all the streets around here are privately owned. They're owned by this complex. The complex has to maintain them, which they do a shitty job of because I got a giant pothole in front of my shop. I get stuck in with my forklift all the time. But the city doesn't come around here. I mean, normally I try to keep it. He found a shipwreck. Okay. But yeah, I'm working on getting it dialed in up front, and we're gonna be. Happy to share my burner dimensions with you or anyone else. Just need compressed air, which I have. So interesting that you say that. I was watching this guy because I've been looking at using waste oil to melt copper, and you have to basically, he was introducing compressed air to get it to burn hot enough to melt the copper. Melting the aluminum was easy. The copper was a different story, but that's an interesting thing, man. I'd love to see that setup. If you could email me, or do you have a channel, Electronic Scrapper, where you showcase that stuff? I'm very interested in that because I seen this guy. Basically, it looked like the back of a fighter jet engine, the way his setup was, and he had the oil like running through it to kind of like preheat it or something, and then he was forcing air through it. And I think he has a bunch of different ones he was experimenting on. One he was using like a leaf blower, but the one that I really liked, I think he was using compressed air. So we're gonna work on that, definitely. John Daly, I saw a Pakistan compressor cutter yesterday. They used a cutting wheel to cut the top off like a big glass cutting wheel. Yeah, that's basically there's a couple different variations of that. Have I had any problem with thieves leaving stuff outside your shop? No. Like I said, man, the only thing that might be outside is tin shred. There's no copper out there or anything. Or if I did leave a motor out there, it was like that 3,000-pound motor or that 5,000-pound motor. Nobody's going to walk off of that, And I'm here late. I'm here early. You never know when I'm here. The door could be closed and I'm here, And I have cameras. I can see everything. If someone were to do something stupid, like come over here and try to steal, the way you got to get back in this complex, I'll be on top of you before you get out of here, and I'll run you right off the road, and we're gonna have some problems. Yeah, I'm looking into making some homemade diesel too, man. Okay, cool. Electronic scrapper. Yeah, I'm going to be interested in seeing that. YouTube no box for really the best DIY. I think that's who I'm subscribed to. I think that's the guy that I've been watching. He's got a bunch of different variations, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the dude. He uses compressed air. He was using a leaf blower at one point. He's got him starting on propane. He's got a bunch of different ones, man. They're pretty cool. So yeah, we got 120 people in here. What time is it? I'll finish my cookie. It's the same cookie. All right. It's not like I'm over here eating a whole box. There was something else I wanted to tell you guys. I distracted myself. But let me know what you guys think of this. As soon as I'm done with this live stream, I'm going to hot wire the plasma cutter. And I'm going to put my switch up there. Now this works for holding it. This was just something I threw together. It does a good job of holding it. But after the first one, I realized, one, you don't want your hand right there. That's just dumb. Two, it has to be adjustable more than what this goes up and down. Because even this one, look at this. Even if I put this all the way up, that's about max. Like that thing would be right below that line on the compressor. So we're maxed out on that one. And that's it. So that compressor right there, and I've seen bigger ones than that. And then the one I grabbed is way bigger. I mean, it makes this thing look like a baby. So I want to be able to do them all. And so there's going to be, you'll see all the modifications I'm going to do. And definitely, I think the main thing is getting a better plasma cutter, because the little best arc, I mean, for free, it's done some incredible stuff. I've cut some pretty thick stuff with it. Me and Merchant were out there cutting with it the other day, and it did a good job. As long as we had the ground hooked up. I mean, we were trying to figure out why it wasn't working. We didn't have a ground. But for a free machine that was sent to me just to review on YouTube, the best arc Chinese machine, it's still here. It's still running. I don't know how long it's been. Maybe a year I've had it. You know, I don't use it daily, but when I use it, it does what I need of it. Except for one time, I was cutting some really thick stuff. I had to bring out the torch. And then that company, Best Arc, sent me a welder, a MIG stick welder. I was really upset with them that the next model up was actually a TIG welder as well. They didn't send me the TIG welder. I was really upset about that because I don't have a TIG welder. I have an aluminum spool gun. I got a big boy MIG. I got two smaller MIGs. I don't have a stick welder. I don't care for stick welding. And I don't have a MIG or a TIG welder. TIG welder is one of those on the list things. I'd like to get one and get into some TIG welding. So that being said, we're coming up on 2 hours. We're probably going to wrap it up here soon. Show is the box. What box? How's the new dump trailer? How do you know I got a dump trailer? What am I hearing? It's weird. I'm always hearing weird stuff through these headphones. I understand why when people are doing online stuff, they wear headphones so you can hear yourself. It really does sound different. But my microphone is weird, man. It picks up weird noises that I can't even hear. Do Chinese use Chinese tools to make tools? So do you, Fo Manchu? The scrap ghosts are talking to me. That's interesting. Like, if China's pumping out shitty tools, do they use their own shitty tools to make their stuff? I doubt it. I think they probably have like I think they probably have, they probably sell themselves better quality tools than they sell the rest of the world or America. That'd be messed up if they just send all the crap to America. I mean, they send some crap this way, man. I don't even know how it can leave a factory. The stuff, some of this, like, to me, it's like a waste of materials and effort to make such a crappy product that you're going to get one use out of it. I'm hearing running water. That might be my fan. I got a fan over there. I hope I don't have running water in here. Because dumbass Americans buy that shit. Yeah, I mean, it sucks. We order crappy tools from China because they make the best tools. And the funny thing is, we all know it, but we won't admit it. China makes the best tools. I don't know about that, depending on what tools. I mean, all the drills and stuff like that are made in China. Yeah, I'm on the internet, dude. Where you at? Hold on a second, man. Steve said he's coming looking for his cookies. Too bad I didn't eat them all. Oh, comes bearing gifts. Say what's up to everybody, dude. You see yourself?
Hey, how you doing? How's everybody out there?
Here, man, take these away.
Right.
Before my wife kills you.
Yep.
You're bringing me more sugar.
You gonna cut this open?
No, I don't have the air plumbed into the thing right now. I mean, I guess I could. You guys want to see me cut that open real quick?
I do.
Steve does. I guess we got 100 people in here. I mean, I showed you this machine. I might as well run it. The only thing is, I'm going to have to run 2 compressors because I don't have this thing plumbed in just yet. Or, you know what? Just give me a second to work on this. It'll take me 2 minutes. Cut it up. What kind of cigarettes does Steve smoke? Disgusting ones. I'm sorry. Hey, I used to smoke cigarettes. I quit on my 18th birthday. I haven't smoked since. And I can't stand the smell of cigarettes. Like, I hate when people stand outside my shop and smoke and it comes in my building and ruins my fresh air. All right, I'm going to set this up. I'm going to sit.
quitting smoking.
You're quitting smoking? Oh, God bless you, man. I hope it works out for you. Okay. I need to tighten this thing up. I think I could just use this and put a thing to it.
What do you want me to do?
I need that blue line off of that air compressor. Yeah. We're gonna see if we can.
Which is
I need both ends. We're gonna plug the plasma cutter in.
There you go.
We need some 220 line.
Where you want to?
So this is going to go here. Okay, that needs to be adjusted. That can go there. Now, I wasn't finished setting this up before I went live, so just bear with me 1 second. I need to adjust this on that angle. Okay, we got air. We got power to the plasma cutter. We got air there. Our ground. Now this is temporary, just I'm just gonna zip tie this. There's a tie right there. Where? On the side of the whole thing.
Yeah.
One? Yeah. Now, being that this one here is perfectly round, I can utilize this adjustment and bring the thing into it and just have it adjust on its own. That looks about right. And I don't have, you're going to see me do this with my hand this time. But when the next time you see this, I'll have the switch and I can do it hands-free. We're going to utilize some sunglasses. Oh, you got a pair? I'm going to back this thing up a little bit. I don't want it throwing sparks at my... Oh, look at these. Man, I really appreciate that, Adam, man. I have the best subscribers ever, man. I appreciate all you. Even if you can't send nothing or donate, whatever, everybody that just watches and comments, even if you don't comment, just watching really helps out, man. I really appreciate everybody. Yeah, he said he's locked in a stadium or something at the moment. Oh, what do you think of my new shades, man? Right? I can't see nothing now. Okay. Let's see here. I got that set. Yeah, we're going to bring this down. Probably right there. This might get loud when that air compressor kicks on. Let's see what kind of view we got. Okay, I'm gonna push this back just a little bit. I don't need my computer getting blasted.
Which compressor you plugged into?
Right now we're putting into the red one. Okay. Let's see.
Got no air.
There's air coming out of here. We got 60 psi. It's spark is going, but it's not. Let me put a glove on. Hold on.
Yeah, plug the screen spot on.
Huh?
The screen spot. That main circulation spark.
Paint. Yeah. I think a better plasma cutter will just blast straight through that. I'm going to have to unplug my computer for a second. Hopefully we got enough battery. I had this thing starting up the other day. Oh, another thing I noticed, things hitting this, these things need to be prepped a little bit, or this needs to be over more. Where's that glove at? Oh, my other glove.
Did you turn that?
Oh, shit.
Well, you didn't drain it. Don't drain it back.
Did you turn those fans on back there? Okay. And all the excitement, I forgot to drain the compressor. I gotta turn the fan up a little bit.
Seriously?
At least you guys got to see a smoke show. Wow. Okay. Oh yeah. Now, this is where the upstroke, in my opinion, needs to be automated. But we're going to run it anyway. at that. Oh, more oil. Hello? 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 Ah, yeah. What do you think?
I think it would have been a great tool if you would straighten that oil. Is it done? Ever get it up?
Uh, this is where well, at least the machine's going to be well lubed. Yeah, I'm going to have a whole station set up. I already have right behind Steve is a bin with holes drilled in the bottom. Everyone except for this one, I got distracted by the live stream. I drilled a hole in the bottom and let drain. Definitely way better than having that mess and the fire and all that smoke. The other ones weren't nearly like that. Um, Also, I noticed when I was cutting up, when I went back and I was pushing it down, it's a lot better and smoother pushing down than trying to push that thing up. So we're going to work on all of that.
Is it ready to come off of there?
It might be. Hold on. I think I cut it too. I think I cut it too high. Probably has to be cut underneath this thing right here. Because I see some points right here.
Yeah.
Maybe is there any more?
Yeah.
This whole box might need to come off.
Take it off. Not bad.
Oh, oh. See that? That actually is coming and hitting. At least we'll get some nuggets out of it. We got some fire. Oh, you know what that is? That fan. Where's my sugar? Yeah. So there's one spot where I think I sped the thing up too fast. It just didn't cut it. I'm running around there again. So the good news is the oil looks like it'll burn. That'll be good fuel for the incinerator.
You got a piece over here. You got it?
Oh, I see.
It's all gone together.
These things stop working. Did we lose our ground? Oh, I see. Wow. Whoa. So I think I cut it right next to a weld or something. It seems to be holding it up. That thing got a big knot of copper. Okay. Couple things. One, like I said earlier, oil management is a must. Look how much oil is down in there. A couple things were happening. Look at that. Plasma cutter was blasting the oil all over the place. It was kind of catching on fire, and it was just a mess. I didn't realize I should have drained that one. Yeah. And my shop is absolutely bogged out right now. Um, Now these things, I can already tell it's all about where you cut it. There's a place to cut it, and there's a place not to cut it. Um, I think I had the bottom cut okay, but where the weld seam is, the plasma cutter kind of jumped over it. And I think maybe I think the problem was I had so much oil and I was cutting and there was oil. That was a bad deal. Definitely draining these things is going to be the way to go. Um, and I can already tell that the air motor for the rotation, like I've said before, needs to be swapped out for a electric motor, something that's more consistent. Because I noticed when the pressure was varying, the speed and me hitting the valve was a little bit off. But I'm gonna dial in. It's gonna do what I need it to do. So yeah, that was a whole mess. That actually had a lot more oil in it than I thought it was going to have. So I don't know if it's going to be better to put that up on a table and just run a plasma cutter in the bottom of it, um, or to actually drill it like I just been punching holes in them with a drill. The couple that I did earlier today and the ones I did last night, I had no issue because it wasn't splattering like that. Um, it's not good to breathe that. I think one of my exhaust fans is finally taking a crap. Good thing I picked up a whole pile of fans the other day. I saved four of them. I plan on putting one up in that corner and one in that corner to blow this way. And then I'm going to put one back over here, um, kind of help blow air out of the building and across this mess when we're cutting these up. Um, yeah, definitely there's going to be a pre-station, the cutter, and then it'll have to get brought back in over here. Um, I'd like to get it set up so that it's running into the building. And I already have an idea for this corner. Matter of fact, I'm going to be doing something with these air compressors probably. They're probably not going to be in that location so that I can have this machine just sitting right outside the building and work the stuff into the building. I think it's going to be the best bet. The steel can stay outside. I'll have a tote out there and just pick it up with a forklift. But I want the motors to kind of roll themselves into the stator wrecker. I got to get a smooth flow. Everything got to flow, you know. Um, but not with the oil in it like that. That is not the way to do it. uh, and I was kind of rushing to cut that. I should have just finished what I was doing and then cut it. Um, but overall, the concept is exactly what I thought it was going to be, and we're just going to dial it in from here, man. I got a whole big bin of them to go through. Um, so um, and that was not a good representation of that was a disaster. Um, Um, uh, I'm sorry, I'm just catching up on some comments here. So the copper catcher says when he cuts his below the top weld and above the spot welds at the bottom, and then vertically 180 degrees opposite. So you're making two cuts up and down. So I think for that particular one there, that was probably the best way to go. That thing was stuck in there. Um, but I was watching. Um, I think it's Empire Finds or Empire of Dirt or something like that. And he cut around the bottom, up the side, and then only like halfway around the top. But he had like he put a self tapper in the top of his and had a crane, like a hoist, and he was picking the things right up off of it. Um, I want to minimize the cut in. I mean, obviously, if I got a hack at the death, we're going to, but um, it's all like, yeah, cutting it in the right spot. And then the different styles, like I have a couple little round oval ones, and then I have this monster, dude. It's so freaking big. I'm probably gonna have to cut the top by hand. I don't even think this thing is gonna go high enough. Um, and I did the measurements. If I adjust the feet out to the most outer one, it'll fit in there. So this thing will accommodate some pretty big ones. Um, but where we're gonna cut them, that's that's all up in the air, and definitely we're going to work on the up and down portion of that. That needs to be automated as well. Like I need to be able to stop the rotation and engage the up at the same time, or we might even start at the top, cut the top first and work our way down and then do the bottom. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We got a whole box to play with, trial and error. Um, but a power feed up and down is definitely something that needs to happen if this is going to be done on a mass scale and very efficient, because I noticed with the plasma cutter, when you get the rotation at the right speed, it just blows through it and leaves. It actually left a really nice cut. I mean, the cut is just absolutely phenomenal. Oh, that was the problem. It looked like it got a little slag on the inside. The little Chinese plasma cutter, I just don't think it has enough power. Maybe I don't have it turned up enough. Um, but it looks like it did catch some slag on here. We might have to figure that out. But either way, it's doing what I needed to do. Definitely drain the oil first. That was crazy. I knew once I seen the big plume come out of it, but we was already in it, so we had to finish it. All right, let's see what we got here. So, how do I deal with the oil? We're gonna deal with the oil. Very OSHA compliant, man. We are the epitome of OSHA compliant over here, man. Funny thing is, I've probably got more OSHA training than most people because of my last real job. I mean, when you work with like the railroad, nuclear power plants, demoing buildings, bridges, and stuff, OSHA's all over you, and you have to do 10-hour, 20-hour OSHA courses. Each company does safety training. I mean, I've been through the ringer of safety training. I just try to forget it all. um, um, why don't I vacuum out the stuff? Yeah, I'm not looking to vacuum nothing out. Like it's got to flow. Everything's got to move fast. Like they got to come in fast and be moved right along, like an assembly line, a de-assembly line, deconstruction line. So I have a little drill press around here that I don't use. I was thinking of mounting it horizontally, and like the copper catcher said, he uses a tote. I'm gonna have. I'm more gonna have mine a big steel table, and you know what would have been perfect? The table under here. Let's see if I can get this on camera. So this big 4x10 steel plate is actually sitting on a 3x7 table that a machine was sitting on. And if you notice, there's a drain right there. This table is concave down to the middle. A big ice hacking machine sat on it, and that was the drain. That table itself would be perfect for just dumping a whole box on there, maybe put a wall on the back. I'm going to build something like that so I can literally dump a Gaylord because I have now that I'm getting into heavier boxes. See that back there? That's the rotator for my forklift. We're going to have to start putting that into use. Where'd Steve go? He's going to help me. We were looking at my forklift engine the other day. Um, we're gonna check everything, check what the machine shop did, and get that thing ready to go. Put that rotator back on it. That way, I can just pick them things up and dump them right on the thing, and then run them. We got to be able to, handling these heavy bastards is going to be an issue. I don't want to be bending down into a Gaylord picking these things out. I'm either going to have a crane pulling them out. I've already got a couple good ideas for that. Or I'm just going to dump the whole box up onto a table with the forklift. But a table like that, something big where I can dump a bunch on, and then I was thinking of just rolling them on the side and have like a quick adjustable thing where I could just bring it in front of me and run the drill press into the bottom of it fast. Hand drill, like if you ever hand drilled something and then got frustrated and then put your project on a drill press, the drill press it has more pressure. It's drilling straighter. If I'm going to do that route, um, I have a little drill press that I can sacrifice to do that with. I can just pop a hole in the bottom of them. But then I'm thinking I'm going to be, well, I guess there's oil, so the blade will always be oil. I'm always conflicted because there's many ways to skin a cat, you know? Um, I'm either going to do that or I'll have another plasma cutter and just burn a hole in the bottom real quick. Um, whatever we're going to do, we'll figure it out. But there's going to be a prep table. There's going to be this, and then it's going to go right to the stator record. And then this machine here, this is going to get moved over to that table behind me and installed there. And when it's there, I have a couple things I'm going to implement, add to it that I haven't even showed you guys yet. That's going to, my transformer press, since I don't use it that much, is going to be modified. It'll still do transformers when I need it, but it's also going to do something else. And then there's going to be, you'll see, it's going to be awesome. And hopefully here soon. I was talking to Steve about getting the proper metal. I gotta turn that fan down. It's blowing through my mic now. Now that we backed out the shop, I'm gonna plug my computer back in too. I smell burnt electric motor, and it's not from this fire I had over here. Uh, I think my other little fan just cooked. She's been squealing for a couple days now. Okay. Um, well, I think that's going to be it for this video. I'm gonna catch up on these questions, or if anyone's got any questions. What's this guy saying? Use the suction side of my air compressor. That's actually a cool idea. I have a vacuum pump. Matter of fact, when I used to be big into burning waste oil in my truck, I was going to make what they call a super sucker. Basically, you get like, and I have the tanks out back. You get like an 80-gallon air compressor tank, and you put a vacuum on it. And then you go around to different mechanic shops, and then you bring your hose out there and basically just crack the valve and then have your tank under a vacuum, and it'll just suck down a 55-gallon drum really fast. Let's see. This is how I spent my afternoon, only with a grinder. Dang. Don't let my secrets out early. It's a public farm. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that I haven't shared, and you'll just have to see coming up in the videos. I got a lot of cool stuff coming. Canadian grower, you made it back. Canadian grower. I've posted a few scrapping videos. We'll be posting more soon. Cool, man. I hope your channel takes off. Road trip to Pakistan to get educated. Jason, you're a Pakistani? Fart fans? That's funny. I literally have a giant bin full of industrial fans. I just picked up from a customer. Am I running 220 on the plasma cutter? Yeah, my copper catcher, my plasma cutter is cheap, man. It was sent to me for free to review on the channel. It's a best arc. It's a 110 220. It's not very powerful. I mean, it cries. I think it's cranked all the way up. It don't like when I run 110 at all. I mean, the thinnest metal is basically what you do with that. The 220 does pretty good, but that particular mishap right there was 100% because that thing was full of oil. The plasma cutter did not like that. But an industrial or better plasma cutter is actually something I'm looking at. Um, I was at the welding shop where I get gas, and Hypertherm is like top notch when it comes to plasma cutters. But the one I was looking at was like 25 or 2,800 bucks. But the guy had another one there for like 800 that he said a lot of people had good reviews. And then I just was looking at Harbor Freight the other day. They got a couple different ones there. One for like 600, one for like 1,000. And you know, I'm funny about certain things at Harbor Freight. You know, I'll buy sockets and certain other things, but that's pretty much it. I don't like buying power tools from Harbor Freight whatsoever. I think you're just wasting your time and money. Eventually, you'll just be disappointed. I've always been disappointed with anything from Harbor Freight, but like the 20-ton air hydraulic jacks, I used to keep 5 of them under my table when I would do transformers. I mean, I'd be doing literally tons at a time, 1,000 waters. I would blow those things up so much, I literally got banned from Harbor Freight for returning them on the warranty. But Dusty was telling me he turned his pressure down, but he also has a different brand than I was using. And he's just not doing the volume I used to do. Like, I wish I would have started YouTube back when I was doing a lot of transformers, because you guys would have been blown away. I would come back with basically a Gaylord or more every time I went out, every other day. Like, they were just everywhere, man, in South Florida. I hear Liberty City is cheap. What's Liberty City? But back to Harbor Freight. The thing about Harbor Freight, which I kind of like, is you can buy the 2-year. I used to do this with the winch on my crane. I would buy a 2-year warranty or a 1-year warranty, which is even cheaper. I think I would buy the 1-year warranty with the crane for like $20, $100 something warranty. And even with the air hover hydraulic jacks, $120 something thing, it's like $20 for a 1-year warranty. You go and change your warranty out, right? And then they ask you if you want a new warranty on your new item for $20. So I was constantly getting those $120 jacks for $20. $20. I was making so much money on the transformers, it didn't matter. I was thinking about that with the plasma cutter, just getting a 1-year warranty, one from Harbor Freight, and then just, even if it's still working, I would just return it. That's what I used to do with the crane on my trailer. I would just return that winch. And the good thing about that was I would only unbolt the winch itself and the cable and just bring that to them. I wouldn't take all of the wires and the solenoids and the switches that they give you, and then they give you a brand new in the box winch with all new solenoids, all new switches, all new wires. So after like 2 or 3 years, man, I had a pile of solenoids, wires, spare parts, basically, you know, for $20. If you know how to do the Harbor Freight system, you can make out pretty good. All right, we're gonna wrap it up here. If there's any questions you want me to answer, leave them now. I'm gonna scroll through, and my dump trailer was briefly seen in Merchant Metals videos. Really? Huh. So much for keeping secrets. That's cool, man. I had a blast with Dusty. It's a shame when he showed up when he did, because I just got back from Daytona, and right before I went to Daytona, I knocked out all of, like, every customer I could get to. I knocked them out. So when he got here, I was really just whatever scrap I had in the shop. And we did go do a couple pickups, but I would have liked him to. I actually had some transformers I was going to run with him while he was here, but he kept working on his stuff, and it just didn't work out. But I hope he fixed his stuff where he can get back without burning hubs. And I don't know how many tires. He said he blew through 6 tires getting here, which is crazy. His rig is so heavy, like it's scary heavy. How I tried to pick it up with my forklift, and I picked up loaded trailers with my forklift, and it bent that fork down so much I didn't even get it off the ground. I put it back down. I was afraid it was going to permanently bend my fork. Looking forward to some of the milling projects. Yeah. I'm actually in talks with actually getting another milling machine, and I got to go over there and barter with the dude and help him out with something. Have y'all seen that video where I was cutting up the cart and I recovered the drivetrain out of it? I did that for this guy. He's got an old school, beautiful, big bus. It almost looked like a tour bus for a rock band, you know? So he's restoring that. And I actually got some of the original copper out of it. The copper was so thick, it was crazy. He's replumbing it and he's redoing it. I want to go over there and kind of help him out. Man, if you could see this guy's shop, it's like, I think I said it before. It's like me in 20 years, 30 years. He's got everything, man. And he's the dude that he rebuilds hyperbaric chambers, for the divers when they get the bends. So he rebuilds them, recertifies them, and he works with a guy that places them. Let's see here. Got retroactively fined by OSHA, and they found him on YouTube. You guys should stop mentioning it. You're going to get yourselves in trouble. Huh? Mentioning what? OSHA? In 1971, a house with a swimming pool on a canal in Deerfield Beach was $35,000. Now same house for over $500,000. Yeah, when I first moved to Florida, I moved to Deerfield Beach. That was my first. That was my first place. I loved it there, man. I lived literally on the island, a block from the pier, and that was great, man. Actually, matter of fact, that's where I started cracking transformers. In the back of my apartment building, had like a little space back there, storeroom or something. I set my press up in there, and that's where I did the crate. Oh man, I really wish I would have had a YouTube channel back then, because back then I thought you had to clean the coils, like get all the shellac off, get all the paper off, get all the plastic off. So I actually built a apparatus. At the time I was cutting concrete, so I had access to these big 110 drills. So I took one of these drills, I mounted it horizontally. I took a baseball bat, cut the end off, chucked it up. This drill was big enough to chuck a baseball bat in. I stuck a small, like a 12-inch diamond blade, for the fact that the diamond blades have the little slits, right, all around it. And then I had the drill up here. I had like a couple cinder blocks offset. And then down below, I took have you ever seen an electrician? They got these little carts. They're about this big. And they have they'll have like six different spools of wire on it, different colors, different sizes. I took one of those carts. I took some blocks of wood. I cut them down to the transformer coil would slide over it. And then I took the actual coil and unwound it, and I fed it up through the bricks. and through like a wire brush or something, some type of apparatus. And then I would hook it onto the uh, diamond blade, and I would turn that drill on, and it would pull 6 coils up through this stuff. And basically, the way the bricks were offset, the wire would hit an edge and then hit another edge, and it would clean it pretty good. It wasn't super clean. I would have had to do 4 edges, but I got 2 edges. It cleaned most of the slack off, and then I was getting 40-pound little mini copper donuts, man. I was making copper donuts years before I even thought about the big copper donuts I had. That would have been so cool to see that thing. It just kept getting bigger and bigger, and it was all off round and shaking, and it was chaos, man. It was absolutely awesome. But then I was taking the coils to the guy at the scrapyard, and the guy looked at me and he goes, I asked him, I'm like, how clean do these need to be? And he looked at me, he goes, man, just bring that shit in, dude. And that's when I found out you're allowed contaminants in number 2 copper, certain amount, not too much. And then we started talking about the cast. That's when I learned about, he told me 6% iron in the cast. Because he said he used to run a scrapyard, him and his brother. They would send the cast to a mill. It was so clean, the mill had to add iron to it. So the mills add iron to your cast when they're melting it. So it's okay to have it in there. And if a scrapyard tells you it's got to be super clean, they're just, I don't know, man. They're a little anal, I guess. Let's see. I mean, a location for business that doesn't cost $5,000 a month for a 2 small garage. Yeah. I mean, I'm in West Palm Beach, dude. I'm like a mile from Mar-a-Lago where Trump is. I'm in a very expensive area, you know. If you take my road, Okeechobee, that way, within 2 minutes, you're going to be at the beach and where all the high-end West Palm Beach stores are. So it's mainly the location. But I'm close to a highway, which I love because I travel a lot. All right, man, I'm going to wrap this up. And what was the thickness of the wall sealed unit? No, it's not half inch steel. It's actually, I mean, it's a thick piece. Maybe 3/8, less than a 1/4 inch. I'm gonna actually get a couple totes for the oil. We're gonna be mixing that stuff with some other stuff. We're gonna have a little fun with that. Instead of using a drill, use a lump hammer. And I scratch and pop a few holes. I'm gonna try a couple different methods. I'm gonna try the drill. I was already thinking about a pneumatic punch. I have some really nice pneumatic things that I pulled out of a massive transfer switch. I don't know if it's gonna have the power, but it moves fast. That's guy that said he wanted to send you the granulator and for you to put it to the test, not send it to you. Nobody sent me anything. Liberty City is the worst area in Miami. It was a joke. Oh, Liberty City? I think that's like the ghetto, man. Used to live in Pompano off Copens Road. That's awesome. He needs to go to 14 ply tires. You talking about Dusty? Yeah, I told him before he left, man, that he needs a bigger. The weight he's hauling, dude, he needs way better tires. Congratulations on the marriage. Thank you. You remember when that area of Pompano was a vegetable field? Wow, dude, that must have been a long time ago. uh, South Florida has exploded over like the past 20 years. Like when I moved to Florida, gosh, I think it's probably 25 years now almost. Moved here when I was 19. Um, they were building hard out west, man. Like Davie and Weston. I pretty much did a lot of concrete work out in Weston, and it was just work. The first right up until 2008, when that housing market crashed, that's what got me into scrapping. I was working for a big demolition company, cutting concrete. Man, we were everywhere. People were buying houses, demoing them, or cutting half of them up. Um, it was crazy, man. There was just nonstop work. Um, let's see. Merchant Metals blew a tire on the way home, and he got in an accident. Dag. That's crazy, man. I told him to take it easy, just drive slow, man. That rig he's got is crazy. Um, who's close to Singer Island? I used to live on Singer Island. I lived when you go over the bridge and there's a little flat bridge. I lived in that building. They demoed it now, but I lived right on the intercoastal, man. It was so nice because right off my dock was like the number 7 spot in the state for scuba diving and snorkeling. I'll just dive off the dock and go over there. Down under my dock, man, there was an octopus that lived down there. I caught him like twice, and both times that sucker escaped. I mean, I was going to throw him. I didn't mean to catch him. I was just fishing, and he got on my hook. But I lived right there on Singer Island. Love eating at the marina right there. Super fresh. Okay. What's up, Copper Man? Hey, man, you and I've been looking for you, dude. Um, pretty sure it's you. I have an ingot I need to send to you, man. Um, I don't remember your address. You and Jay Walter. I think I have his information, but I have a aluminum ingot sitting on my shelf. I totally forgot, dude. I apologize, but I have an ingot for you, man. I'm gonna send that out to you, and we're gonna get back on that ingot stuff, dude. I got to get back on my ingot maker and processing aluminum because this thing. That thing is full of aluminum. What do you guys normally do with that? Do you guys throw it with the shred? I've been selling it as irony aluminum, but I'm thinking about trying to melt that aluminum out. I remember watching who's that guy, Okie Scrapper, with his waste oil thing. He was melting all kinds of aluminum into like a cookie or a cookie pan or something. But I'm thinking my incinerator will melt that melt that stuff right out of there. Copper catcher, you do what? You sell it as shred or you sell it as iron aluminum? I'm thinking about melting it, man. I don't know if it's going to be cost effective, but we're going to try. You sell it as shred? Yeah. I was sneaking them in. I was throwing them with my aluminum transformers and throwing them in with Miami. They're funny down there because they have really good deals on their non-ferrous, but like they have a big roll-off container there. They buy steel from some of their big accounts, and I pulled some of the coolest things out of that dumpster. I have no problem dumpster diving that dumpster. And then they have an iron aluminum dumpster, but I think they just sell their steel to like TMR and their iron aluminum locally. Like they're not shipping that stuff. Everything else they strip. Try to break the crankshaft in them and they are hard. Yeah. Oh, I was watching these. I believe they were Pakistanis. Them guys got all the cool stuff over there. So they were taking those, you know how most electric motors, like I thought I had one around here. The fan ones for the squirrel fans that are aluminum. So even this one, all right, we're just gonna leave that there. That's so much oil. I don't know if that's solid. Oh no, that's plates. Okay. So those are all laminated plates. What these guys were doing is they had a setup. What's up, Cruiser Mac? They had a setup where, I mean, they had a monster press doing this, dude. They pushed out the core, right? They pushed it down, then they put a little thing. Once you break it free and get it moving, it's much easier. Well, at least it seemed like on video. And they just had a beast of a hydraulic setup anyway, man. They're the cylinder, the cylinder on their ram was like this big around. It was just monstrous. At like mine's 100 tons at 10,000 psi. It's probably 9 inches in diameter. Theirs was probably 14-inch diameter, but probably only 3,500 psi, like a normal setup. But after they punched it out, they did something very interesting. They took it and had it on. It must have been some really powerful steel, like wear resistant. And they were pressing it down and literally cutting all the little plates, right? They were pressing it down and then they threw it into like a hammer mill and they separated all that aluminum and steel and they weren't melting it. They were just using brute force. Sometimes brute force is the way to go. So that's something I wanted to explore too. But the sheer tonnage that they were using was impressive. To split those down the way they did. Matter of fact, hold on a second. I knew I had some around here somewhere. So we'll have to do like a video watch night where we watch. We'll explore some videos. I'll get a couple cool ones to where we can watch it. So basically, they pushed out this shaft, right? And then they were left with this aluminum. He put it on a jig like this and pushed it down this way into almost like a like you were gonna like a Play-Doh thing or something, man. It was just a bunch of blades like this. And it came out, they literally just cut the individual sheets, which if you think about it, it wouldn't even take that much because they're very thin. And it was a cone splitter. Well, whatever it was. Well, first of all, all those videos, they have really nice machines, right? I like their machines. They're efficient. Their material handling is horrible, absolutely atrocious. You got a guy sitting there with flip flops and like a wheelbarrow that looks like it was from the turn of the century, and he's like throwing a couple things in, and he's moving it from this one to that one, and there's just heaps of scrap everywhere that they're navigating around. It makes absolutely no sense. It's crazy. I would have it streamlined. I'd have each one of them machines right next to each other. Like one guy just doing one thing and moving it along and moving it along. Like the way they were doing it, like it'll come out and the guy will literally like shovel it into a dirty, bent up, look like a giant cookie sheet, and he'll just hobble it over. And it's just ridiculous. It's comical the way they work. But yeah, I guess if you can work for 2 cents, you know, whatever. Google cone splitter. I'm gonna have to look into that. We need a collab with you and a hydraulic press channel. Yeah. But I would have that streamlined. I like the idea because I think that's a waste. That's a decent chunk of aluminum. And I'd like to know the grade of this aluminum because it almost seems like it's soft. Like I wanted to actually like melt some of this down and have the guy in Miami hit it with the gun to see what it is. But I watched the video. The dude he put this in a press like mine, and he was just coming down with a blade, shearing the ends off, which after seeing that other video with the cone splitter, I guess we're going to call it, that was, but that machine wouldn't have done the motors of the video that I seen. The motors the guy was doing, I seen were like this big around. They were just monsters. And the rotors were just, you're talking about 1,000-pound rotor. You're not going to put that in you'd need just a big apparatus. But I could see on a big monster, what I would do is get the shaft out of it, split it maybe twice, get it thinner, and then come down and shear it. I mean, there's metal to be recovered there. Just how quickly and how efficient you can do it. Maybe even like one of those old alligator shears, man, that just chomp, just kind of throw it in there and just let that thing split it up real quick. I don't know. But it's definitely something I want to look into as I get more into electric motors. We're going to get all the material, all the non-ferrous. One way or another, we'll get it all out, man. But, yeah, we're going to be, I think my 100-ton press here will split that. So, all right. It's getting late, and I'm getting extremely hungry. So, let's see what we got here. It's probably made in China. You cut one off a 20 horsepower with an air chisel. Wow. And it was only like 3 pounds, so I don't mess with it. Yeah, I don't think an air chisel is going to be the method. I think hydraulics if it's even feasible. And I think those dudes are probably getting a silicone steel price. Like I still haven't found anyone that'll buy that stuff, even at like you're going to need 10 tons for anybody to even talk to you. And then batch melt them. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking about getting enough to where I could put like a steel grate in my incinerator and then have a trough underneath and just melt 30 of them at a time or whatever it takes. So share a link to the video that you keep talking about. I want to see it. What video is that? I talk about a lot of videos, man. I see. Anyway, that's going to be it for this live stream. If you have any suggestions or comments, feel free to leave them. I'm always looking into, I always like other people's comments and ideas because, I don't always have the answers. And I like to see what other people's thoughts are on stuff. So thank you, everybody, for joining the stream. Thank you for the people that donated. I really appreciate that. Again, thank you to Adam W. and John Daly for the Anchor Lube, wherever that went, and my big box of gloves and safety glasses. They will be put to use. And we got a ton of videos coming up for you. And we got some really cool stuff in the works, man. It's about to get real over here. So on that note, y'all have a great night. Have a good week. Happy scrapping. God bless you all. And we'll see you on the next one.